Yvonne Strachan here. I am so glad that you could join me today. I want to talk to you about God's calling on our lives and realizing them and appreciating them. And I just want to go over 1 Corinthians 12, and I know I refer to this a lot, but there are different kinds of gifts. We're all equipped in different ways, and somebody might be really good at developing a team and just putting little sticky notes and encouraging people. Other people are so good at making people feel comfortable when they're around them. And we're all called to different callings. We can all help each other in all kinds of ways, just depending on our background and the gifts that God has given us and the knowledge that we have gained throughout our lives. And each one of us is so important in that way. Now, every season is different, and our callings are different throughout different seasons. When we first have children, we're called to be a parent first. And that calling is so incredible because as a parent, our first mission is to prepare our children's hearts for God. We are the first and foremost influencers in our children's lives. So this is an important job. Some of us are called to be at home with our children, and I think sometimes in this society that we live in, it's not really glorified and it's not really recognized how important and how special that is. Sometimes our callings are so simple. It's what's around you now. It's raising your children. It's if you're called to homeschool your children. Most people are doing that right now or just finishing that for the year. So when we're called to those kind of things, just answer it and do it well. Because there will be a different season as your children grow and you're called to other things. Or maybe when you are raising your children, there is a stretching to extend your calling into other things. When I first graduated college, I became a kitchen designer, and I became very good at it. I did it for 11 years. I had accolades from my peers. I did kitchens for parade homes, and I received awards. Was doing really well. I found it very challenging and very fun to design custom kitchens for real high-end homes, and it was a joy. But as time went on, my calling changed. I had children. I felt like I was missing out on many of her firsts, and she had so many things that she was dealing with just in the condition that she had because she's missing a chromosome. And so I just wanted to be home with her more and more. And I had another child, and my first child started going to school, and school was proving to be hard for her. Children aren't always understanding or kind to one another when they see something that is a little bit different. Like maybe somebody can't run as fast, or maybe they're smaller. Maybe math is hard for them, or they're very quiet. That calling for me had changed dramatically to call me into homeschooling at that point. And now I've been homeschooling for over 11 years. I was not a teacher, obviously. I was a kitchen designer, and I was not equipped to teach. But I see my children flourishing and thriving through what they are learning. And in time, I have found myself helping other people, guiding other people, because I didn't have that. Eventually, I started speaking, and then that led to writing a book to help others, which will actually be out this summer. It's on having faith and growing faith in your children. So it goes through a whole Bible study. And along with that, it's integrating homeschooling with your family life and balancing all of the things that go with it, because it is not easy. So in fact, this year we had 2 surgeries that we worked around for my daughter, 2 surgeries for me, and then now recently my mom needing help because she had gotten injured and is in a wheelchair. But thankfully our school is mobile, and adaptable, and we're able to work around that. And so this mission field that I have in my children's hearts is so important that right now I have the opportunity to speak to their hearts in service of others and help them prioritize what is important: God, family, and then work everything around that. Their school, growing in knowledge, which are all important things, but how can they be interwoven together? As you can see, I have been stretched into all kinds of different callings throughout my life so far, as you will and as your children will. So I want to encourage you to be thankful in the way that God calls you and appreciate what He has put into your life, because what you are going through now, or how you are being called now, is preparing you for what you are able to do in the future, how you're going to work in other people's lives, and how you're going to be serving others in the future. And in the meantime, you're also working in the lives that you touch today, your children, the other people around you, everyone you get to talk to. Your callings will change throughout your lives, sometimes from day to day, sometimes very quickly, and sometimes in just different seasons. But as you're meeting the needs of the world, you're answering the callings to God's service. So instead of working on a specific job for God and looking at it that way, look at it as a co-mission with God inside your heart, as He's working in you and through you as you're serving others. And as you look at it that way, you are realizing that your calling is now. Your calling is simple. It is today. It is who you are talking to. It is who you are being with. It is the way you are speaking and how you are blessing others. So as you're working your calling and your mission, I would encourage you to view it as what you are becoming through it, or what you are helping your children become through it. So for example, as I am working with my mom and I have my children up there and she needs help because she's in a wheelchair, how is my kids' hearts growing? They're growing a heart of service. They're learning to care for others. They're learning how to prioritize what is important to God and what is important in life. Lives are important. People are important. Love is important. Family is important. I just had a conversation with my mom the other day, and we were discussing how, right now she's not able to do a lot of things for herself, but she can still be a blessing in others' lives as she is thankful for the people that are giving her the care, as she's enjoying that time with her grandkids, and as she's speaking her heart as she works with others. She is working in others' lives even as we speak. And God has a plan for her, and that's her calling right now. God will work through you and in you where you are at. And so I just want to honor every one of you today, because each one of you has a special gift, whether that is encouraging others by putting sticky notes out, or sending cards, or maybe you're really good at remembering all those birthdays in your family, or maybe you're really good at just making people feel welcome in your home, or feel comfortable talking to you. Or maybe you've had some things in your life that God has worked through, and you can be a great witness to others in how He has grown you through it, and how He has worked through your lives, and how He has blessed you. And you can just encourage others as they work through hardships, and you can be their lifeline. As you tell God to use you in everything that you do, just surrender your own plans and trust in His plans for you, because His plans may look totally different. Our plans and our hopes and our dreams are not always necessarily His will. As you do that, you're stepping out of faith, and you're letting God redefine you and redefine who you are in your calling, and helping you become who you were meant to be. And He allows you to use all the gifts and all the knowledge and all the experiences that you've had in your life as you serve others. So I want to leave you with one last thought, And I'm going to read through 1 Peter 4, 7 through 11. And it says, "The end of all things is near. Therefore be alert and of sober mind, so that you may pray. Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers a multitude of sins. Offer hospitality to one another without grumbling, and each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in various forms. If anyone speaks, they should do so as one who speaks with the very words of God. If anyone serves, they should do so with the strength that God provides, and so that in all things God may be praised through Jesus Christ. To him be the glory and the power forever." So as we're serving, we want God to emanate through us, and that people see him in us, and then they are brought to him. And that is the loudest way to spread God's word and the glory of God, isn't it? So I just want to encourage you today that however God is calling you in this moment, in this season, in this year, to be joyful and rejoice in it, and just go out with a loving heart and emanate his glory.